guys have said, well, you've got a need for speed. Well, that's maybe partially true, but you can take a car on the freeway and do 100. For me, that's not a challenge, but on the racetrack, it's another matter. So I've been racing now for about 10 years, and I started doing the racing late in life. So I am behind the curve with virtually all my competitors. They're mostly all younger, although there are quite a few older guys now. So the question is, at a point of being a senior citizen, how much longer? The age isn't so much the notion, it's when I decide that I am either not improving, that I am in fact going the other direction, that I am not competitive, or that it is no longer fun. It's just a rush thing to get up to the pre-grid, get everything together, into the car, strapped in and up. That's all rush. I mean, it's just get everything done right and get up there. But once you've gotten there and you've shut the car down, that's when you really kind of have the butterflies about the apprehension of getting out on the track. Then they give you 1 minute, and then they give you a prep, and then the cars start rolling out. And as you first drive out, that's when you're feeling, okay, we're just about there. You roll out, and you're in a line of cars, you follow out the pace car, and that first lap around is really no big deal. Now you're moving, it's underway, you're going. Each person is waiting to be the quickest at the start flag, and people start anticipating. Cars start moving, jumping, you start jumping, and then the car stops, it slows in front of you, you stop, and at some point the guy throws the green flag. Then it's all, foot goes to the floor, and now all you're thinking about is trying to get somewhere around the guy in front of you. Totally into that car at that point. The feeling really is invigorating then, because now you're in position, you've got guys to chase and guys to keep. Now you're just totally into all the apprehension, the anxiety, the butterflies are gone, and the emotion is just fully concentrating on what you're doing. There's risk. This is racing. You're pushing vehicles at their limit, and accidents, collisions, spins, these things happen. A guy and I at Buttonwillow went into what they call Phil Hill, and I went over first and he came up on the inside, and I didn't want to chop him off, so I went to the outside, and the car got sideways at the top of the hill, started to spin at the top, went down to the bottom of the hill, the rear wheel hit an obstacle, and the car did a slow roll. And when that car started to go over, that risk and that fear factor clicked in. I'm just like, I have no control over this situation. And every time you spin, it's kind of that same thing. Oh shit, you know, what's going to happen here? And maybe that's part of the allure. Maybe that's part of the excitement. Everybody out there is trying their best in wanting to be number one. If you're not number one and you're number two, it's okay, but it's not as good. Number three is on the podium, but it's not number one. For me, there's still, if there's one individual there that is close to me in the same ability and the same car, and we are vying for position, and we're trying to, each one of us, stay ahead of the other guy, that is the challenge, and that's what makes it so great. When you're on the track with the combination of a high-performance race car against guys that have been at this for many years, and you are racing wheel to wheel with them, there is no experience that will parallel with that. I've been a pilot, I ride a motorcycle. You can be on a freeway in a Stingray doing 150. There is no comparison to being on the racetrack and having that corner coming up and knowing, when am I going to brake, at what point before I run off the track and make this corner and get around them. Nothing that compares.
Okay, Richard, I have one more question.
Oh, okay.
And it's not about racing. It's about
Okay.
Jess. Okay, so Jess, I love your daughter. I love her intelligence, I love her beauty, I love her kind heart. I love how she fills in the blanks of the areas that I may not be so great at. I think that we make a good team. And I want to marry her. I understand what a big commitment that is, and it would make me the happiest man in the world. I promise to always cherish her, love her, respect her, and honor her for the rest of my life. And I just wanted to respectfully ask you for your blessing.
This is not about racing, but I guess it is about the race of life. And Jeff, you have my blessing, you have her mother's blessing. We obviously wish that something like this was going to happen, and this made me very happy. I hope it has my daughter.
Hi, welcome to the Jeff and Jess tour. I'm your host, Jeff. The first stop on our tour is the father's office. Now, this is the place that we went on our first date, and we partied like it was 1919. And right away, I could tell that you were special because of your intelligence and your great sense of humor. So the next stop on our tour is your old place on Thorburn in LA. Now the reason this place is special is this is the spot where we had our first kiss. I thought you were really beautiful when I first met you on our first date, and I really wanted to kiss you immediately, and here's where the magic happened. The next stop on our tour is the old HB house. Now this place is special because this is where we decided to take our relationship to the next level and move in together. The next stop on our tour is the Bombay Bar and Grill in Ventura. Now we came here after Nardfest, and the night's a little bit fuzzy, but this place is important because it's the first place that I told you that I loved you. And I love the fact that you are open to my passions, you're open to new things, and even though it was a punk rock show and something that you're not really used to, you were a good sport about it and even went in the pit. So cheers. So the next stops on our tour are Big Sur and Hawaii. Now these were two of the places when we went on our first vacations when we got out to see the world together. And that's another thing that I love about you is your sense of exploration and adventure. Oh, now I'm in Delaware. Hi, I'm in Delaware. The next stop on our tour is the Springdale Apartments. Now this is the first place that we lived together alone, and we went through a rough patch here, so to be continued. The next stop on our tour is the house at Anaheim. Now this place was sad because this is where we said goodbye to Maggie, but on the other side of that, this is also where you decided to stay with me despite us having problems. And that brings up another thing that I really love about you, which is your determination to see things through. Okay, so that leads us here, the last stop on our tour, our house. Now, there's many reasons why this place is special. One, because this is the place where we decided that we were gonna push forward and that this was worth it and that we were meant to be together. And the loft up here in particular is special for another reason, which you're about to find out.